This is the Spin Mop. It came from Amazon. I made a mess on the floor with some coffee and decided to go ahead and demonstrate the mop because I intended to review it on Amazon, but the instructions it came with were not very good English and not very clear, so I thought people might want to know how to actually use the mop. So it comes completely unassembled. Well, the bucket's put together, but what you'll have to do is the mop will actually screw together at this point, and down here this piece telescopes. I don't know if you can see how that's spinning. That's actually how the spinning works. So you have to snap this part together, and where it says loose and tighten, you'll have to tighten this piece since it comes apart at this wedge. The head is easy to attach to the actual base of the mop. This part screws off and this part will snap in. Then you slide this part over it and screw it down onto it. This piece with the fabric on it just snaps into the disc on the bottom. I think putting it together wasn't too hard. It was kind of self-explanatory. I've actually just got a little water and vinegar in here. There is a cone inside of the bucket. I hope you can see that. To get the mop wet, actually let's go to the bottom of this. There's a hole in the bottom of the mop. You slot that down over the hole and you press down. Oops. Now people say that it does that. You press down on the actual pole and it spins the mop in the bucket, making a little bit of a mess and getting the mop wet. Then you move the mop and slot it over the cone inside of the basket and spin it again to get the excess water off. Again, that makes a little bit of a mess. It's not super neat, but since it's just clean water, I'm not really worried about that right now. I can see where that would probably aggravate some people if you've been mopping and you're flinging dirty mop water on the floor. The problem that I've noticed with this, it's not going to spin if you put pressure on it while it's on the floor because it's held in place by the floor, but it has absolutely no scrubbing power at all. It's basically just good if you've made a little bit of a mess with some coffee grounds like I did, or spilled something. If you were cleaning up after kids who have gotten melted cheese on your floor or muddy pets, you're not going to really have much luck with this. So it does clean. I just can't say that it cleans very well. And the second problem that you're going to see with it is you have to keep it, it's supposed to adjust like this. It's supposed to adjust to be at the right angle when you're mopping, but it doesn't do that very well. So it kind of just tilts up and scrapes the floor unless you put the pressure just right. Then there are corners. Most mops are square. Your kitchen's square. Hi, kitty. Your kitchen is square. It's not round. So I can't clean. There's a little spot in this corner, and it's hard to get the mop into that corner to get whatever that is out without just bunching the fabric up in there. And then again, you're just basically touching the corner with wet fabric, so it's not really, whatever that is not coming off the floor. I'm gonna have to get my real mop out to probably deal with that. So that's the Spin Mop. That's how it works. I'm not gonna say, and see, here's another problem. Now it's tilted in here and I can't get it to tilt back down without, I'm not gonna say I can really recommend it unless you're just not, if you just like the novelty of the mop spinning, I guess that might be, interesting then, or if you wanted to get kids to use it, they might like it. But if you've got any kind of a real mess to clean up, I don't think it's going to work very well. It also doesn't dry out very well, but the heads are removable, washable, and replaceable, so there's at least that. But overall, I don't really feel like this thing works very well, and like I said, the instructions were not very clear, so hopefully you at least see how to put it together when you get it, if you get it. Which, like I said, I just recommend going with a square mop over this, honestly. I realized this one might hold together a little bit better than some of the square ones would, but I'd buy 2 or 3 square ones and throw them away, after using them for a few months over this thing because it's just kind of a pain.